Professor Paul.
Okay, I have something to keep my chi running, okay, because I've been talking for too long today. So for those who did not attend the forum, so welcome, and I'm from Hong Kong, the University of Science and Technology. Why I'm here? Because I want to share with you some of my understanding of the cause of aging. So with the understanding of the cause, then we can try to explore something that can retard the aging process. So in theory, we cannot do anti-aging. Okay, everybody go through the aging process. Depending on you grow it very fast or slowly. Depending whether you age healthily or age with a number of sickness or diseases that can cripple your life. So today's topic is very neutral, okay? Aging buster. What we want to do is to try to work against this kind of changes with age. Even though you are a normal or ordinary person in the society, even though you are a celebrity, you have to undergo this aging process. Madonna, how many years ago? So George Clooney become like this. So one of you asked, how old am I? Now, I can tell you, 56. Okay? If I can show you my picture when I first joined my photo, first joined the university 24 years ago. It looked more or less the same, except for some gray hair. Okay? Gray hair is because of thinking too much. Okay? Not because of aging. So according to my understanding. Okay, before we explore ways to retard the aging process, one important concept I want to bring forward today is to try to tell you what is the major cause of aging. So after we identify that, we have enough evidence that we test whether there's something that can actually retard the aging process. And more importantly, is to prevent the age-related diseases. So what is the cause of aging? From the air? Okay, from your surrounding? Yeah, it's correct. It's from the air that you breathe. Oxygen. Okay? You breathe in oxygen, then give you life, maintain your living, give you energy, but at the same time, it causes aging. Okay, energy is everything. So we have a very profound discussion in the dinner. So talking about energy, energy actually governs everything. But today, I don't want to be getting very philosophical. Just talk about your body, your function. Okay? Energy means qi in Chinese medicine. Okay? Qi is a very general concept about something that maintains your life. In English, Western medicine, they say qi is the life force. Okay, that your life depends on this force to carry out different functions. So, if your qi stops flowing, that means you are a dead person. Okay, so this is how important is qi. Okay, so this qi is a very abstract thing. And I think if I want to explain to you what is qi, I have to describe to you in a very simple manner before we talk about the mechanism of aging. Okay? Maybe I don't have the slide here. This is the not updated PowerPoint. Okay, I try to explain without the PowerPoint. Okay, qi is actually, we talk about is zheng qi. Okay, we say, and zheng qi is composed of two important components. One is zhong qi, that is qi that governs your respiratory and also depending on your digestive system. Okay, and the one, this is acquired from the environment, okay, from the food, from the air. And the other is called yuan qi, that is the kidney qi. Okay, this zhong qi and the qi that you inherited from your parent combined will form the zheng qi. And this is the qi we are talking about. This qi will then divide it into two parts in terms of function. One is called defensive qi. That is your immune system. Try to defend you against the invasion of microorganisms like viruses and bacteria. The other is called nutritive qi. That is for nourishing yourself, just like for the plant, agricultural practice, you irrigate the farm, the plant, that the plant grows. So our cells also need nutrients. And it is the qi that nourishes the cells through the meridian. So we have an expert here in acupuncture. So acupuncture, based on the theory of meridian in Chinese medicine. Okay, the qi flow in the meridian and then nourish the cell and then maintain the function of the body. So anything wrong with this will cause unhealthy condition. Okay, if the qi decline, the body function decline. So this is Chinese medicine. Okay, how would you explain this in terms of Western medicine? Okay, that's what my research focus on. So when we look in the mechanism of aging, okay, in Western medicine, now we know this mitochondria, called a powerhouse of the cell. In every cell, okay, that has this powerhouse that just like a generator, generate power, energy for the cell. So this powerhouse called mitochondria is the key of life and death. Okay, something like God determine, okay, life or death. But this is inside the cell, responsible to generate energy. And this energy we call the qi of the cell. Okay? So basically, when we eat food, like just for example, the glucose will undergo chemical reaction, eventually will send to this generator, the powerhouse of the cell. It will generate ATP. Okay, ATP is what we call the energy unit of the cell, energy currency. Something like the Malaysian dollar in your wallet. Okay, when you want to buy something or in your living, daily living, you depends on money. Okay, you have to spend money to support your living. Okay, so there's a saying that money is not everything, but without money, you can't do anything. Right? In the cell, the same. Every function in the cell depends on ATP. And ATP is generated by this powerhouse. And we call this the origin of qi, the cell origin of qi. Okay, we want to understand what is qi and put this picture in this what we call Western medicine perspective. And this powerhouse happens to be important to maintain life. Okay, without energy, life cannot be maintained. However, if something wrong with this powerhouse, the cell will also die. Okay, all depends on how this balance being worked out. Okay, what will be the key to maintain this balance? Now we know that during the energy generating process, okay, under normal condition, okay, when the electron flow, the electron will, the energy of the electron will be harnessed to generate ATP here. And at the same time, some electron will combine with this oxygen, generate what we call free radical. So what is free radical? Free radical is something very reactive that will oxidize everything inside the cell and make the cell rusty. So now you know that, okay, when the cell generates energy, it will also produce some free radical. And however, under normal condition, that small amount of free radical could be handled by the cell. Okay, could be neutralized by what we call antioxidant system. And this antioxidant system is built in the cell. However, trouble happens when this generator powerhouse getting rusty. The function declines with age, and just like a car, if the car getting old, the engine getting less efficient, it will produce what? More exhausted gas and polluted the environment. So if the mitochondria somehow getting rusty, maybe oxidized by the free radical here, generated from the electron used for generating energy, it will start a what we call vicious cycle. That means the free radical will again oxidize the generator and then produce more free radical. And the problem then arises. So this is now tell you actually the cause of aging. And the cause of aging is because of what? Living. Because we want to maintain life, we have to generate energy. Okay, we consume oxygen. But at the same time, when we generate energy, consume oxygen, we generate free radical. And we call all this reactive oxygen species. It's related to oxygen. So oxygen is the culprit of aging because of the free radical. And oxygen causes life, give us life. But oxygen can cause aging and also eventually death. Okay? So aging is defined as a process when you get older and your body function decline and your chance of getting disease increase and eventually die, okay, of the disease. And all these age-related diseases like neurodegeneration, Alzheimer, Parkinson's disease in the brain, okay, all these are related to the brain, diabetic complication, cardiovascular diseases, or liver diseases, all are related to free radicals. Particularly the free radical damage in the mitochondria, that is the powerhouse. That's more organ powerhouse in the cell. So This already well documented over a few decades of research. And that's why, and also in addition to those diseases, cancer is also one major cause of death during aging. Because of the oxidation of the DNA, eventually cause mutation and then cancer. Okay, there's a theory with the understanding of this mitochondrial phenomenon and the generation of free radical. Scientists propose, okay, the mitochondrial, that is the powerhouse, decay in aging to explain. Okay, this is the main cause of aging. So with this understanding, that means if you want to retard the aging process, we should work on the mitochondria. Try to control the free radicals generated from the mitochondria. And that's the conclusion of decades of research. So with this mitochondrial aging, then we have very convincing supporting evidence, okay, from this graph. So if you look at this is the amount of free radical generated from the mitochondria, the powerhouse. The higher the bigger the number, that means more free radical generated. And this is the maximum lifespan of different animals. Okay, we want to compare. Okay, these are Mickey Mouse. So only live at most 2 to 3 years. This is the maximum. Of course, on average, 2 something year. Okay. Rat. Okay, these are bigger variety. Also, we use them for experiment. Live a little bit longer because it generates less free radical from the mitochondria. Okay, how we do it? We take the tissue from the animal and measure the free radical generated from the mitochondria. Okay, then we look at the pig. See, wow, 20 something years, much longer than the mouse and also the rat. And also this negatively correlate with this free radical generation, much smaller amount. So in other words, the less free radical generated from the mitochondria, the animal live longer. Okay, do you think dog live longer or cat live longer? According to this theory. Without looking at the data, what do you think? Cat or dog live longer? Dog. Why? Because dog produce less free radical in the mitochondria. Even cat has life according to Chinese state. Okay, really? Shorter lifespan. Okay, another question. How long a human can live? So according to this graph, that means, first of all, we have to measure mitochondria isolated from human, and then obtain a value here. And then what we call, we extend this curve to see where it cut, okay? And then you obtain the maximum age of a human. Anybody know how long a human being can live according to the current data? 123, okay, according to the record. But actually, this agree with, if you measure the mitochondria generated from human, you find from this curve, it's somewhere here, 120. And a French lady have a very good record for her birth certificate, and she died a few years ago. Not a few, 7 to 8 years ago. and found to live for 120 years. If you are aware of the news, just a few months ago, a Japanese lady just died, 115. That means, in theory, according to this mitochondrial theory of aging, actually people can live over 120 years. And this land support this theory. That means if we want to retard the aging, the mitochondria may be a target. Okay, it's powerhouse. The cell origin of qi. If we can maintain the cell origin of qi, then we may live longer. But more importantly, we can live healthier when we get age. If you look at the previous slide, aging can cause associated with a number of diseases. If you don't care about the change in your appearance, okay, it's all right, you look older, but you care very much about the deterioration of your health condition. It causes a lot of suffering and trouble, okay? So, with this understanding in Western medicine, okay, mitochondria, then people obviously think about you have to take in antioxidant. Antioxidant dietary supplement become the mainstream of health problem, like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C. Some people even take vitamin B, which is not an antioxidant, just help the mitochondria to generate more ATP. So this seems to be a right approach because free radical cause aging, and antioxidant is for neutralize the free radical. So you remove the cause, in theory, the aging process will be slowed down. And more importantly, hopefully, the age-related diseases could be prevented to a large extent. But, okay, this antioxidant supplementation has started a few decades ago. A lot of people, particularly Western people, they begin to take antioxidant every day as a supplement. But do they work? Not until we have a systematic survey about how they perform after taking, say, the antioxidant supplement for 20 years, for example. Do they live longer or healthier? Surprisingly. Okay, this is only one of the studies published over the past 10 years. The women taking supplement, antioxidant supplement, they either obtain low effect. That means when compared with the control, not taking any supplement, same diet, similar age, average, or they die earlier. So, would it be a big shock? I spent so much money, so much expectation behind taking the antioxidant supplement. Eventually, I may die even earlier because of diseases. Okay, and that changed the whole thinking, the concept of antioxidant supplementation. This is not something wrong with the theory. It's something that we should do to deal with the free radical. It just happened now they have the explanation. If you take antioxidant supplement, those antioxidants may not be at the right place in the cell. It's one factor. Too much will produce opposite effect. Because bear in mind, your cell have their own antioxidant defense system that go with this energy production to produce free radical and the cell have a self-defense system called antioxidant defense. Okay? To deal with the free radical. So if you take too much external antioxidant, that may affect this self-defense, maybe down-regulate, tune it down, because the cell may feel it is safe. I just turned down my own system, and this is why the trouble arises. And now it's generally accepted that if we want to enhance our antioxidant system to deal with the free radical, one effective way is to upregulate, to tune up your own cell defense. Apply the same, just the same thinking of the immune system. If you want to increase your defense against viruses, bacteria, or even cancer, the best way is to tune up your immune function, because your body is designed to do that. It just happened. The function declines with age. It needs some help to boost up the function. Okay, all this antioxidant vitamin is not working, and we have to look for a solution. So, for Chinese, there's not be a solution, because 1,000 years ago, Chinese start using herbal for the prevention of diseases. And this approach is different from Western medicine. Western medicine mostly focus on, okay, you have a disease. I understand why this is happened. I use a drug to stop this process. And that's kill the symptom, regardless of the cause. But Chinese medicine, okay, before you have the disease, I have to prevent, work on the cause, okay, and stop the disease process. That is, to treat a disease before it happened. This is the concept in Chinese medicine. So we think to look for a good so-called antioxidant, we should resort to Chinese tonic herbs. And that's why we start working on the Chinese tonic herbs 20-something years ago. And just happened, I come across a formula called Sandmai-san. I'm so interested in it. I even published a book on Sandmai-san, okay, to document all this activity. And with the understanding of this formula, according to Chinese medicine, it is good for yin and qi deficiency. Okay, this is according to Chinese medicine. And promote the heart and lung function. Okay. So Chinese medicine, even for prevent and also for the treatment of disease, they use formulation. That means instead of using a single herb, they use a combination of herbs with underlying principle to produce all this action, yin and qi deficiency. Try to treat this kind of symptom and also promote your heart and lung function. Okay, what makes the Sandmai-san? 3 herbs. One is ginseng. The other is maidong. And the first one is Schisandrin. Okay, in order to understand this formula, and also with the mind that we want to look for antioxidant, we use our system. We identify the antioxidant component of this Sandmai-san mainly come from Schisandrin. Okay? wage, pay wage. And then after doing this, I spent more than 20 years, okay, working on Schisandrin. Isolate the active ingredient called Schisandrin B, and also study what we call how it works to produce the beneficial action. And with all this research finding, I cannot elaborate in this talk. We understand how it works, and we put back this knowledge, okay, to reformulate this traditional formula, medicine, which was invented over 1,000 years ago. And instead of doing it in a traditional way, we reformulate, optimize the activity, and put it in a dosage format like vitamin. Okay, 18 years ago, we have this product launched in Hong Kong. Okay, we call this antioxidant, Calmium partial. But this Calmium partial is from herbal. It's not a simple herb. It's a combination of herbs based on a traditional formula. That means it can also produce the effect claimed by the formula, according to the previous slide, semi-science. And okay, this is me, 1998. Is it more or less the same? Okay. Except for some gray hair. Okay. That make me look more scientific. Otherwise, how come you think a lot and your hair still very dark? Must be dyeing the hair. Okay? So this is, in Hong Kong, we are the first to invent or modernize this Chinese medicine, make it to a format like, vitamin supplement. And we also, the first university, licensed this invention to the private company, that is Lee Company. And they were responsible for manufacture and marketing of this product. It has been 18 years, okay, from now. And with the launch of this product on the mainland, okay, that means more people using it. And in mainland, they use another name, Wei Kang Shu, maintain health. And Chinese, the English name is even more meaningful, Schisandrin Plus, because the main ingredient, as far as antioxidant and anti-aging activity is concerned, is Schisandrin. To plus something, that means it's not only antioxidant. So here is the product, okay? And from my point of view, we do research. We have a product, okay? We all did experimental study to demonstrate this is good and effective. Then you may ask, what is the chemical study? Okay, any chemical study using human? Now I can say we have chemical study already. The product has been used for many thousands of users for 18 years. Okay, a lot of beneficial effect reported. If this product is not effective, it cannot stand the test of time. So that means, as a scientist, I feel very gratified because what you research on, hypothesize, being proved to be effective and could benefit a number of people. Okay, it's not just publishing paper. Of course, publishing scientific paper is very important as a university professor. Otherwise, I won't stand here. I will be fired. Okay? This is a record of your research performance. But with this product, actually can benefit a lot of people. So the basic mode of action of this Schisandrin Plus is to have this antioxidant to fight against the free radicals. Okay? And the mechanism is by stimulating this glutathione antioxidant response. What is that? Glutathione is the most primitive antioxidant in the cell. Why it is primitive? When the organism, during the course of evolution, begin to use oxygen for energy generation, the glutathione evolved. So it's very primitive and also effective. It can act at the right site at the right time. Okay? That's why the most effective way to counteract free radical generated, say from the mitochondria, is to upregulate these antioxidant effects. So you can also tell from here, when we use the glutathione to react with glutathione, the cell keep regenerating. Okay? Because you cannot have too many glutathione. One approach is to keep regenerating. Like the energy, ATP, I mentioned. Do you know one thing? Every single second, a cell under normal condition generate 10 million ATP. Okay? Even you drink ATP, it doesn't help. You cannot drink that much. So the key is regenerate. Even vitamin E and vitamin C, depending on the action of glutathione to regenerate. Just for example, if there's a free radical here, vitamin E neutralize free radical, but the vitamin E need to be regenerated. And all this depends on the glutathione. So you can see the importance. This is the mechanism. So you may argue, well, is this Schisandrin Plus so unique in producing this action? One fair way is do a comparison study. Okay? We compare different so-called antioxidants. Curcumin from curry. This is a representative from India. Resveratrol from the grape, the red wine. This is a representative from France. Catechin from green tea. This is a representative from Japan. If you look at the scientific publication, over 5,000 for each category. Wow, so many people work on it. Because the market is huge. You have this publication, and then, of course, most of them are sponsored by industrial power. But when we compare this with Schisandrin B, which is the active ingredient isolated from Schisandrin. From this recent publication, okay, only Schisandrin B could upregulate the glutathione and protect. In this paper, we look at the liver and also the heart. Okay? And also we use the neuronal cell, the nerve cell from the brain. Do the same experiment. And with a similar finding, only Schisandrin B can upregulate the glutathione. If you ask me why, only Schisandrin B can do it. I can't actually tell you. Maybe this is designed by something up higher level. Okay? But it just happened. Maybe 2,000 years ago, the king of herbal medicine already saying that Schisandra is good for integrating the qi of the 5 viscera. That means it can produce beneficial effects in the body in general. Now we can explain it in terms of modern medicine, which is Schisandrin B or Schisandra can actually protect the powerhouse, the generator, by enhancing the glutathione effects, which is the most effective way. That's how it can guarantee that the qi generation from the cell is intact, is normal, and maintain healthy status. Okay, then we go back to the, Schisandra, we do a lot of research. We even understand how this compound gets into the cell and stimulate the glutathione. We now, just a few years ago, we worked on a product, exactly this product, to see whether if we feed the product to the animal, whether it can produce the effect as expected. Wow, of course, not surprisingly, it produced the effects. It enhanced the glutathione response in every tissue, the brain, liver, kidney, heart, and produce the protective effects. And my duty is to write a paper to publish it, in intellectual journal. And what maybe interestingly, I would say, you look at what we call the dictionary of Chinese medicine published in China, then you can read what Schisandra can do. That's one word lies that it can enhance the learning ability. Okay, then we take this and we do experiment. Okay, this is the brain. There's a region of the brain called hippocampus. It's for memory and learning. Okay, so we want to test whether Schisandrin B can enhance the learning and memory using experiment like this. Okay, we use the mouse. You know, mouse tend to stay in an environment which is dark. Okay, this is an apparatus. You put the animal in this box, there's a dark compartment, a light compartment with a light. When you put the mouse in this light compartment, the mouse will try to get into this dark because they feel more comfortable. However, what we did is we apply electric shock. When the mouse gets in, and then it come out. And after trying a few days, we test whether the mouse can memorize this electric shock. We have 2 groups. One group we treated with the Schisandrin B, the other nothing. Okay, the result is that we put the mouse, normal mouse, without treatment, put it in, it still get in, because the mouse cannot remember. But with Schisandrin B, you put a mouse there, stay. Even though it is in a light region, keep itself the light, prevent the electric shock. That means, from this observation, we can say that Schisandrin B can enhance the learning ability. Learning and memory. Okay. So we published this paper many years ago, and many parents, after listening to the talk, or just before, oh, is this good for children? So do you think it's good for children? Wow. 2 benefits. One is for children. One important factor to determine whether they can study well academically is their health condition. If they always get sick, how could they learn? Okay, this can safeguard their health. More importantly, with that, we can learn better, okay, memorize better. So depending on the dose, okay, for children already in elementary school, of course you can't give the same amount as an adult, just reduce the dose. But this is documented in our research and also in the literature in Chinese medicine. And also, everybody knows Schisandrin is good for the liver, treating hepatitis. We also work on this product on the alcoholic-induced fatty liver. Okay? That means you drink too much alcohol, the liver will get damaged, and eventually with hepatitis or even liver cancer. And we focus on this, and then we give alcohol to the rats, and then test the liver damage over a long period of time, and this is the result. Then we publish. That means with this this product, it can actually reduce the damage, liver damage caused by long-term alcohol intake. And my collaboration with a professor in Beijing also demonstrated that with Schisandrin B, the ingredient from Schisandrin, can even help to prevent fatty liver. Too many fat accumulate in the liver. Okay, this is a very common metabolic symptom. You eat too much fat, and most of them store in the liver. That will affect the liver function, and eventually can cause liver cancer. Okay, so all these are the effects of the Schisandrin. So that's one thing, one very obvious effect of this product related to the Chinese medicine theory or the application of this formula, semi-sum, is for the yin and qi deficiency. And that's exactly what happened with these children, this trial. After running, exercise, wow, getting yin and qi deficiency. Yin, that is, lost too much water in the body, dehydration. Qi deficiency is the heart and lung function. My personal experience, many years ago, if you take this, doing exercise, even though it is very hot weather, you feel much more confident. Okay? That is, agree with the yin and, good for the yin and qi deficiency. Do you know that People Liberation Army in China, army use the best regiment for the soldiers because they're important. How about the soldier in Hainan, very hot and humid? They can easily suffer from heat stroke. What they took during the military exercise is semi-sum. Take it, and then they never suffer from heat stroke. Apply the same if the weather is very hot. Okay? And then you have to work outside, this is good. In Hong Kong, in summer, even though the weather is very hot and people go to exercise or climb the mountain, hiking, they suffer from heat stroke. But with this, no more heat stroke, okay? Because it can prevent the excessive loss of water. Heat stroke is because you lost too much water, and the pump has nothing to pump, okay? And then it can cause death. And also, with this, when you drink too much alcohol, I don't know whether people here used to get drunk or not. The thing is, when you get drunk, in the next morning, you get what? Hangover. What's hangover? Please, very uncomfortable. This is mainly due to too much dehydration. With alcohol, well, you go to the toilet every half an hour, and then you discharge too much water. And that's the cause, one of the causes of hangover. With this, before you go to have a party, okay, drinking party, I mean, then the hangover much reduced, okay? And, okay, all these are effects, okay, you combine, okay, the best of both worlds. That is, the traditional formula, the effect, applied to different conditions. And now you have the antioxidant effects, okay, work on the mitochondria, and that way be able to retard the aging process. Now we come to the moment of truth. Then you ask, whether Schisandrin can really retard the aging process. Then, what are the evidence? Of course, all we can do is provide you experimental evidence. Because of that, okay, we spent more than 3 years working on one experiment. Okay, we have hundreds of mice. Okay, we breed it, and then at 9 months of age, we give them Schisandrin B. Put it in the diet. They take Schisandrin B every day. And another group, just normal diet. And now you see the effects. Okay, this is what we call survival rate. That means 100%. That's no animal die. Of course, at the beginning, the red one is the mice with Schisandrin B. The green one is mice without Schisandrin B. Those are male. Okay, we separate male and female. So for the green one, what you can see is that when you go to 60 or 70 something age, week, this is kind of weeks. Okay, those control without drug, without Schisandrin B begin to die. Of course, die of some lethal diseases. Okay? And during that period of time, the one with Schisandrin B is still maintained at a high, very high survival rate. And after several period of time, they also, okay, eventually all mice die. Okay? And that's why I say you cannot live forever. Okay? But what you can do is to live healthier when you age. So how we can interpret this data? Very easy. Okay? When these mice, the green, before drug begin to die, the one with Schisandrin B is still there. Okay? They did not die when they're supposed to die. That's the reason. Because their chance of suffering from those lethal disease increase. Okay? And the survival is higher. When you compare this age, wow, a big difference. And you calculate the mean, then you show the mean lifespan increase. But that's not very important. The most important implication is if you have this Schisandrin B, you may be able to live healthier when you are 60 or 70 years old. If you pass 80 years old without any major disease, you can go up to 90 years old without any problem. Okay, that's the window. The chance of suffering from diseases is very high. This is for male. How about a female? Same. But I cannot explain why female always live longer. Anybody can tell me why? Huh? They talk more? They're less stressful? I have a possible answer. If you talk about and retarding the aging process, one very effective way, as I mentioned before, reduce the diet intake. If you eat 2 bowls of rice every day, just for example, you take only 60%. That means a little bit more than 1 bowl every day. And reduce all the food intake accordingly. For sure, you can live healthier and longer. But nobody can do it. Who want to do it every day? Without the enough food, and feel hungry all the time. Okay. This is, when you do experiment, you can for sure have a healthy lifespan, but nobody can do it. This is not practical. But Chinese know this long time ago. There's a Chinese saying that there's nothing to do with discrimination, okay? For the women, okay, you just give them 60% food, okay? Not 60% of food they deserve. Keep them, I don't know, now we know, keep them healthy. They eat less. That's why the female live longer. Okay, this is just my postulate, my thinking, okay? And of course, there's a lot of theory, but by now we know, we understand the main cause of aging, according to the research. It's well established, the mitochondria. The cell origin of qi become rusty. One effective way to counteract this is using antioxidant. And the most effective antioxidant is something that can stimulate the cell defense, that is a glutathione system. Many other antioxidant supplement active ingredient from the commonly used supplement cannot do it, but Schisandrin can do it. And that's why we say Schisandrin is superior to others. And Schisandrin formulated with other herbs based on this traditional formula in Chinese medicine. So you have promotion of function. Very simple analysis. Western supplement vitamin, you take it, but you cannot enhance the function of your organ. For vitamin, you just say, we can't do anything without the vitamin. This is important for the reaction, chemical reaction. But Chinese medicine differ from those herbal from Western world. They have a formulation and produce a function. That is, for this formula, enhance the lung and heart function. And that's why you can apply in different occasions. Weather like this, okay, so hazy with the pollutant from Indonesia, that's I was told. That will affect your lung function. So you have to take more in order to counteract this environmental challenge. When you go exercise, you eat, you take the tablets. That protect your heart and also enhance the lung function. Because exercise could be damaging. If you exercise too much without knowing that it is too much. Okay? So that's what I want to say, okay, for this sharing, and try to highlight to you, okay, the rationale behind of developing this herbal supplement based on scientific evidence, based on my belief in Chinese medicine, even though I know nothing about Chinese medicine theory. I just learned it by reading. I just received a very good book about acupuncture. I don't know, maybe 20 years later, I learned about acupuncture. Okay? all this meridian, okay? But now it's too much for me. Okay, with this Western knowledge on Chinese medicine, you have this product. That is what? Getting the best of both worlds. This is the product, I think, for the antioxidant to protect the mitochondria against aging. Is well documented in terms of scientific evidence. And the good thing is that herbal medicine is generally regarded as safe because this formula has been used for so many years. So don't worry about the safety. And also the safety margin is very wide. Some user in Hong Kong, they take more than 10 tablets each day. They use it even for facial. They grind it into powder and put it in the face, in the mask. And they show me the photo. Oh, this is me 2 years ago. This is now, okay, wow. A big difference in terms of the skin texture. Okay, thank you.